Life responds to you differently when you become highly magnetic. Most people think that magnetism is about the way that you perform and the way that you present yourself. However, it couldn't be more further than the truth. Magnetism is actually how you make other people feel. Today I'm going to take you through exactly what makes a person magnetic, and it's going to be more effortless than you may actually think it is. Magnetism is an inner knowing of who you are and being at complete peace with yourself. It's the ability to feel convicted and truthful and to lead from the truth that you have without worrying what other people think. Most people are scanning their environment, scanning the room to see what people think of them and how people are receiving them, putting other people on a pedestal and putting their opinions on a pedestal. Magnetic people, they have a way of commanding the space. They are coming from a level of certainty that makes them feel that they are commanding the space. They walk in without attachment to what other people think. They walk in without attachment to the outcomes. They do have in their mind how they would like the outcome to go, and hence why they may rehearse in their mind of visualizing how they would like that outcome to go, but they're not attached to it. They understand that some things will work in their favor and some things won't. But majority of the time, what I find is that it happens to just work in your favor. Magnetic people have a way of looking at a situation and seeing the best in it. They have a way of going through difficulties, and doesn't mean that they don't go through the same difficulties and challenges that other people do. And that's the misconception. It's just that they know how to allow things to roll off their shoulders, almost like imagine a duck. I use the term water off a duck's back when the water beads off the feathers. And this duck or this beautiful swan is gliding across the water, but no one can see the footwork underneath the water. Magnetic people have a way of making things seem effortless. There is this ease to them. There is a relaxed manner to them. They are not rushing or trying to prove themselves. They are not trying to convey to the world that they're important or that they need to be placed on a pedestal. They're not actually looking for the validation from anybody. There is an unseen quality that makes you highly magnetic. It makes you unforgettable. People will feel you when you are coming from your truth. If you want to be highly magnetic and attract more of what you want, what you need to do is come from the most purest, elevated, expressed version of yourself. That brings a pure presence. Your communication, your words, the creation, all the things that you're creating and giving out from inside to outside comes from a very, very rare place, and that's what creates the high value. Magnetic people already operate from a place of being whole. They're not looking for someone to complete them. They're not looking for somebody to make them feel special or somebody to let them know, yes, you're magnetic. They're not looking for that. They're not looking for the external validation. They are already coming from this presence and this knowing and essence that they are already whole. And I'll tell you why. They are thinking that because they are connected to the creation life force. They are connected to something beyond them, to the creator, to that life force within themselves. If you do truly believe in creation and the life force itself, you don't question it. You move from that energy. Magnetic people build their identity in private. So the way you speak to yourself in the morning versus the way you even speak to yourself before you fall asleep at night determines how magnetic you are. Now, to break this down, when you are having the levels of conversation with yourself that aren't actually loving and speaking to the highest version of you, you can go out there in your day wanting to go to a meeting or you're meeting people in public, but people will always sense the frequency of how you speak to yourself. You radiate and you give off this energy that tells the world, this is how I carry myself. This is what I think of myself. You see, the thing about magnetic people is they will always be very open and warm with the people that they are physically interacting with. So when someone is in your space, your body language is open. You're open to them. You smile. Your eyes are open. You're there to receive them. A simple smile walking down the street and just smiling to a stranger can completely shift their frequency. Magnetic people have the way of shifting other people's frequency. They have the ability to elevate it or to actually decrease it. But the most magnetic people that I know, they elevate the room. They elevate other people simply by their presence. There's just something about them. It's like there is this magnet within them and they can switch it up. When I hear phrases like that, what I'm referring to is that knowing within you, this feeling that you have within your body, there's this knowing, and with that knowing you elevate it and you switch it on. And you just know when you're in the room that someone's going to feel, you just know. I'll give you an example. I was in Nashville once, down on Broadway, which is all these kind of country bars that are during the day. I went about, believe it or not, it was about 1 o'clock during the day. And I don't drink alcohol, I rarely do, but when I went there, I was really going for the music and to have an experience of the American culture from Nashville. I mean, how amazing is that, in the heart of country town itself, then the city of music. And I recall being in the room, and I'm very outgoing and friendly, so I was there just speaking to people. I mean, as an Australian, Americans were very, very open to speaking to me and just having conversations, which was fun. And I was just, whoever I felt comfortable with, I was speaking to them. I had met this group of people who had come from another city as well, and I remember we would decide to go to different locations together down Broadway. And I remember I decided to switch it on. And when I switched on that magnetic radiance, I just felt it within my body. One of them turned around and said to me, "How are you doing that?" And I didn't answer it, of course, because I knew I was radiating this magnetic pull without even doing anything. I wasn't doing anything odd with my body or face physically. It wasn't forced. It was something I was feeling internally. And what I was feeling internally, it was radiating out. And people were physically feeling it, where one even came up to me and said, "How are you doing that?" Like, I literally feel pulled to you. You can utilize magnetism in your life to really elevate you and help you draw in the right people, draw in the right experiences. And it really does impact the level of presence you have. It comes down to your presence. If anyone tells you that you need to change your identity to become the best version of yourself, they're not speaking from a place of understanding, lived experience, embodiment, or truth. The truth is, you're not here to be somebody else. You're here to be the most elevated and expanded and expressed version of yourself. The version of yourself you've always felt and you've always known you could be. That is going to require you to elevate your identity. And when I speak of shifting your identity and shifting your frequency, I'm speaking to the part of you, the knowing within you that knows that this already exists within you. There's just a knowledge gap of knowing how to elevate and lead from that place so it becomes your reality.